Malaysia's Anti-Corruption Commission, the MACC, has seized the 60-story Ilham Tower in Kuala Lumpur. The iconic commercial building is owned by the family of two-time Finance Minister Daim Zainuddin. It is estimated to have been built at a cost of $580 million. The seizure is part of an investigation into a $500 million corporate transaction that took place in 1997. This at the height of the Asian stock market meltdown. It involved two entities, UEM and its parent company Renong, which were linked to the then ruling party UMNO, whose treasurer at that time was Mr. Daim. UEM's sudden acquisition of a 32% stake in Renong triggered a sell-off, wiping billions of ringgit from the stock market. Financial executives close to Mr. Daim told CNA that he had refused to respond to petitions to declare his and his family's financial holdings. He had insisted during questioning that he had nothing to do with the UEM-Renong deal. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, who was finance minister at that time in 1997, was critical of the deal. A year later, he himself was sacked from UMNO. For more, Melissa Goh joins us live from Kuala Lumpur. Melissa, Mr. Daim has been a towering figure in Malaysian politics. How has he responded?
Well, I'm afraid he hasn't responded to our queries. His secretary said that she has forwarded a message, so we'll see. And right now, he hasn't mounted legal challenge against the seizure in court. Now, it's a very prime property in the heart of Kuala Lumpur, the 60-story Ilham Tower. There's a hotel and art gallery that I dropped by earlier. The building has lots of beautiful art pieces and sculptures, including one in the courtyard by Chinese artist Ai Weiwei. Now, 85-year-old Daim Zainuddin is known to be quite a collector himself. He has described, as economic czar. He was a former finance minister, a treasurer of UMNO, the ex-ruling party. He and former Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, they're like tag team. So much so that Dr. Mahathir, when he returned as a second-time Prime Minister, he brought back Mr. Daim to helm the Council of Elders to advise the government on how to get the economy back on track. Now, he also led Malaysia to renegotiate with China on the East Coast Rail Link and was at one point helping the country to seek the return of fugitive Joe Low. Now, Tun Daim is very private and keeps a low profile. It would be tough to get a comment from him unless he's willing to talk to you. Now, in a couple of interviews that I had with him, he has reiterated that his heart is in business and he won't go back to politics. He remains a very elusive figure, I must say.
Melissa, even so, as you mentioned, he does have ties, relations, connections, friendships with many in political circles. What has been their reaction and also on the ground?
Many actually, they didn't see it coming, that it caught everyone by surprise, the seizure of Mr. Daim's asset in the heart of Kuala Lumpur. Many thought that he's quite untouchable for some reason, because perhaps he works so close with Dr. Mahathir Mohamad and so on. But having said that, the MACC, the Anti-Corruption Agency, has commenced probe, in fact, back in May already, for possibly money laundering and abuse of power. Now it's finally acted. It's unclear what's the next course of action, whether charges will be filed against Mr. Daim and when. If so, now Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has commented on the seizure and the probe against Daim this afternoon. He said it's high time that MACC is given a free rein to probe both the small fries and the big fish. Let's take a listen.
Biarlah siasatan dibuat. Dia rahsia umum. Seorang yang menggondol kekayaan begitu besar. Biar ada siasatan. Jadi supaya pemimpin jangan dilihat sebagai melindungi perasaan-perasaan besar. Jadi itu tanggungjawab SPRM jalankan tugas siasatan. Dan jangan buat tafsiran. Setiap kali kita sentuh orang besar, maknanya ada muslihat. Jadi kalau orang kecil yang ribuan kita sentuh, tak ada apa-apa. Jadi sistem apa macam tu.
Now, all sorts of speculation as far as timing of the probe and also the seizure by MACC. It came 26 years after the controversial share transaction between Renong and UEM. Many said that perhaps it's a way for Mr. Anwar to show up his credential as a reformer, walking the talk to fix the system, to rid corruption, and also to restore confidence. Faisu?
Oh, thanks for that. Melissa Goh speaking to us there from Kuala Lumpur.